Today what I'm going to be doing is showing you step by step exactly why women love and adore the men who cheat on them. Now, the only way that I can actually demonstrate this to you is by giving you a real life story, okay? And stories is something that I do not do very often on this channel, but let me dive in. Years ago, this was one of my first ever girlfriends, and keep in mind this was before consuming any sort of content. This was when I didn't have very much experience with women. I will never forget this one moment or this one story, okay? There was a time with one of my first girlfriends where we were going through what you would call like a rough patch, okay? Or her behavior wasn't very good. So instead of, trying to get her to treat me differently or anything like that, I just threw a house party, okay? And I'll never forget this. I threw a house party and I did not invite her. Now, word got around in the town that I threw a house party and she ended up finding out. Now, come to find out, okay, what happened was in the backyard, I had a deck or I had a patio, okay, and there was a different girl who was sitting on my lap. Now, this other girl who was sitting on my lap, we were sharing a drink together, and you could definitely tell that there was interest. Now, my girlfriend at the time, who was not invited, she sees this other girl sitting on my lap and we're sharing a drink together. Now, the girlfriend at the time runs into the house, starts crying, goes downstairs into my bedroom. Okay, as she goes downstairs into my bedroom, I obviously got up off the patio and I go downstairs and I follow her. So I go see what she's doing. So she's crying and there's tears in her eyes. And at this age, you got to understand, I was very young. So I'm expecting the worst. I'm expecting either, number one, I'm going to get dumped. Number two, she's going to throw a temper tantrum and say how much she hates me. Or number three, she's going to cry and give this big, long sob story, and she's going to say, how could you, and I'm never going to see you again. But instead, the complete opposite happened. She all of a sudden starts undressing, and she wants to have sex. And it, bended my mind in half. What I witnessed at that age and at that time, I couldn't even understand what was going on. I was, so caught off guard and so taken back by it. I was like, oh, my God. I've never seen anything like this, because I was expecting the worst, but what came from it was a heightened level of desire. And then on top of that, she even started treating me way better than before. So today I'm going to be breaking this down step by step and showing you exactly why this is. And what I want you to do after this video is over is go down below, click the link in the description, and check out the full-length MBT Masculine Behavioral Technique end-to-end webinar presentation that I made for you. So that way you can take that system, you can copy paste it into your dating life, and you can get results at a far quicker pace. Let's dive in. Now, as usual, you guys are probably not going to like me for telling you this, but as usual, I don't care. I tell the truth, and this is the truth. So women do not leave the men who cheat on them, or women do not leave the men who have capability or capacity to cheat on them, and here's why. What you have to know when you're dating a woman at any time, and I don't care if this is a new girlfriend that you've had for a month, I don't care if you've been married for 10 years, your sexual loyalty to a woman is a turn off. Say that with me one more time. Your sexual loyalty to a woman is a turn off. They don't like it. Women punish men who do not operate within their own mating strategy, meaning she knows that when you walk by beautiful women, she knows on a deep down level that you find them attractive, and you would obviously, most likely, sleep with them if you had the chance to. So, what happens when you are loyal to a woman sexually is she takes your loyalty sexually as a sign of no options or low sexual market value. She can't control this. This is just in her biology. This is how women operate. Every single woman in my entire life that I've ever dated in this past 10, 11, 12 years has acted the exact same. And on top of that, almost every single one of them have told me in the beginning that they're different. This is not true. So she takes her sexual loyalty as a sign of no options or low sexual market value. Cheating on a woman, here's what this does. Number one, it signals abundance. Number two, it signals lack of emotional care. And number three, this signals high sexual market value. She can now see with her own two eyes you have access to women. She can now see with her own two eyes you have access to sex. And this is a turn on. She gets aroused when she sees this. So when she sees that other women want you, this now translates into higher attraction, not lower attraction. And when I first discovered this, or when I first learned these things too, it blew my mind. Like, I couldn't believe it. I had no idea that the world operated this way. I had no idea people operated this way. It was amazing to see. So, women get turned on knowing that other women want you. Now, I'm going to tell you another secret that's not talked about. Women hate this. They hate that this is what they gravitate towards. They don't like hearing this because they know it's true and they know how uncomfortable the truth is. Topics like this is very hard for people to talk about because it's uncomfortable. And even for a woman to admit that this is typically how her emotions operate or gravitate towards puts them in a somewhat uncomfortable or vulnerable place because they have to admit personality traits that probably don't look too good. So that's just what you have to know. Women typically don't even necessarily like to admit these things. Now, cheating on a woman makes her not want to leave you, and I'm going to explain why. If you're dating a girl right now, or you have a girlfriend right now, and she's rude to you from time to time, meaning like she verbally will be rude to you or she verbally will disrespect you, she shows no care or she shows low empathy, and on top of that, she will consistently and constantly withhold intimacy. Here's what you have to know and here's what you have to understand, or put this to the test. You go sleep with someone this weekend. Go sleep with a new woman this weekend and watch how fast her attitude changes. You don't have to believe me or take my word for it. You can go test this for yourself. A lot of you are sitting there thinking, well, if I did that, I would ruin my current relationship. That could not be further from the truth. When you sleep with a new woman and your current woman or your current girlfriend finds out about this, watch how fast her attitude changes. The first hour or two, she's going to be mad. She's going to be frustrated and disappointed. The next hour, she's going to sit there and rationalize it. And by hour 3, she's going to be asking you what she can do better to strengthen the relationship. Mark my words, that is typically how it goes. This is the common theme that you're going to find with women if you have access to other women sexually. So her biology can't help it. Say this with me one more time. It's not her fault. She doesn't try to do these things. It's not her fault. Okay, her biology cannot help it. She needs to see social proof that you are desired. She needs to see social proof by other women that you are desired. And if she cannot see this with her own 2 eyes, you're in for a rude awakening, because it doesn't matter how much money you make. It doesn't matter how many Instagram followers you have. It doesn't matter what kind of car you drive. If she cannot see physically with her own 2 eyes that other women are giving you attention or other women would desire to be with you, it's going to be extremely hard for her to stay attracted to you. So, how to lose your girlfriend or wife to another man. Step by step, I'm going to show you exactly how to do this, because if you know how to lose your girlfriend or your wife, you will probably realize that you shouldn't be doing these things. Typically, you need to see what not to do in order to know what to do. So here's how you lose your girlfriend or your wife to another man. Number 1, I want you to be there for her every day. I want you to be there for her. I want you to reply to every phone call. I want you to reply to every text message. And on top of that, I want you to use excitement in your voice. When you say hello to her, don't just say hello. I want you to say hi and sound excited. When you text her back, I want you to use a lot of exclamation marks and a lot of emojis so that way she really knows you're interested. I want you to be there for her every day. This is the first way to lose your girlfriend or your wife. The next thing that I want you to do is support her. Any decision that she wants to make or any decision that she thinks is a good idea, whether you believe it's a good idea or not, doesn't matter. I just want you to support her. I want you to be there for her, and I want you to give her a lot of reassurance that she's constantly making the right decision. That's number 2. Number 3, be in an exclusive relationship. So that means this is the only woman that gets your time, your energy, your care, your effort, your emphasis, and your attention in life. How nice does that sound? Doesn't that sound sweet? I also want you to be exclusive with her sexually. So not only do I want you to be exclusive in a relationship where this is the one thing men don't seem to comprehend. They think that there is synergistic, they think that sex and relationships synergistically go hand in hand. And this couldn't be further from the truth. You're in for another rude awakening. To a woman, a relationship means just that. We're in a relationship. We get coffee together. We eat food together. We go to the movies together. We hold hands and pick daisies in the park. That's a relationship. That has nothing to do with sex. So not only do I want you to be exclusive in a relationship, I also want you to be sexually exclusive. Okay? Next, I want you to show her that you are not going anywhere. Every day I want you to tell this woman that you love her and that you're never going to go anywhere and that no matter what, there's no other woman that you would ever want to be with besides her. Last but not least, I want you to provide for her. Either let her live with you and pay all the bills, or I want you to pay her rent. Okay? This is exactly how to lose your girlfriend or wife to another man. Watch how fast this woman leaves you. Watch how fast this woman's attitude will grow bitterness and resentment towards you because she sees your lack of options. Your care and your emotional investment is a turnoff. This happens practically every single time. So, watch how fast she leaves you when you do this. Meanwhile, the guy with options, here's what he does with her. He will oftentimes cheat. He'll just go have sex with other women, okay? He doesn't want to spend time with her because he understands that it's honestly or typically a waste of time. He knows that all of the meaningless, pointless conversations that you have to have and sit there and act like you're interested in, he knows that it doesn't serve him. I mean, just take a second and actually look at the types of conversations you have to have just to stimulate a woman's interest. The level of things you have to talk about is almost hilarious. Next, okay? The guy with options does not pursue her for a relationship. And here's what's going to happen. This is the guy that is going to forever get her best sex. So instead of just being mad at the world, like what I'm here to help men do is I actually help men rationalize these things. I help men take a step back and I say, hey, why is the world like this? There must be a reason women operate this way, whether it be the way God made them, whether it be the way the world is through Mother Nature, whether it be a woman's biology. There's a reason for everything. See, most men, what they do is they point the finger and they say, well, that's wrong. That's not how it should be. I don't operate in the land of shoulds. I operate in the land of how things are. And I actually take a step back and I look and I say, if this is the type of man that they are wanting to have sex with, there must be a reason for it. And I'm going to explain why. It shows that you are in abundance, and it shows high sexual market value, and it shows that you are desired by other women, and to a woman, that is a massive turn on. So some of you, I understand, watching this video, you might be a little bit frustrated and bitter. So you might be sitting there wondering, well, Casey, how do I have a girlfriend? How do I actually just have a good life with a girlfriend? I'm going to explain how. This is my personal belief. If you want to have a girlfriend who respects you and constantly wants to be with you, here's what I would recommend, and here's what I see being the best fit for this situation. You have one woman, okay, that's your girlfriend, or that is your main, like, stable girlfriend relationship that you're with, okay? And this is the one woman that you love with all of your heart. So when I say you love her with all of your heart, you actually have a relationship with her. That means you're exclusive in a relationship. But notice I told you, a relationship does not go synergistically hand in hand with sex typically. Women will oftentimes have sex with men who they are not in a relationship with. So listen to me very closely. You're exclusive in a relationship, meaning only this one woman that you love with all your heart, she's the only one that gets all of your love, she gets all of your care, she gets all of your provisioning, she's the only one who gets vacations, she's the one who gets your heart. Okay, she has a soft spot, like you have a soft spot for her in your heart. Great, how nice does that sound? However, you never, ever, you never are sexually exclusive because she needs to see that you are desired. So the other women that you sleep with, they do not get to be in a relationship with you, which means they do not get your love, your care, all of that thing. Which means these women do not actually get to have, all of the love and dates and all of that. You maybe will spend a little bit of time with them, but you have one main girlfriend, okay? However, that does not mean that you are going to be sexually exclusive with her. Now, let's recap that story. The story that I told you in the beginning, why is that so important to understand? Because that's how the real world works. And me, I can't even remember how old I was at the time, but when I saw that, that was the truth. And what I thought would happen to my brain actually didn't. So I had two choices. I could either say, this is strange, and this might be an odd circumstance, or I could be like, maybe there's a reason for this. And I chose to accept the truth. And what happens is the more you just understand how the world operates, the further ahead you get. So this is why your sexual loyalty is a turnoff, and this is why women do not leave the men who cheat on them. If you like this video, I want you to hit the like button, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.